Now it appears that the economy has been reset. We see a clear trend of people moving into the urban cores of cities around the country. Living downtown is the in thing. Of course, a lot of factors are converging, right? Baby boomers are retiring and moving into like more walkable environments. Young people are less interested in driving than previous generations. And living in the suburbs is getting expensive. And at the same time, there's environmental implications to that people have become aware of. And downtown, that's where the jobs are. So you can walk to work or start your own business there. We could say that the downtowns are cool again. It's where everything is, or will be, because all those cities are in process of refitting and master planning. So a few examples, led by Cleveland. There's Miami, there's Phoenix, Arizona, there's Los Angeles. And at the same time, while we speak, the same thing, the same trend is happening right here in Sacramento. Just to zoom in a little bit. Here's Sacramento and its wonderful sister city, West Sacramento. And I found this aerial shot of downtown Sacramento looking west with West Sacramento in the background. Here's the Capitol Mall. There's the arena and the development sites around the arena. And smack in the middle, an urban axis, you could say, K Street, at least formerly an urban axis. Because some 75 years ago or something like that, K Street was a wonderful urban boulevard, an economic spine of a successful and thriving city. And then 75 years later, oh my God, what went wrong? Well, I know what went wrong, but that's a whole other TED Talk. It might be called Stick a Highway in Your City or something like that. But again, let's look at K Street in 1945 and the situation, the painful situation today. This situation, however, is going to change in the next few years. This is what I like to call the civic circle of Sacramento and West Sacramento. It's the area that's subject to significant urban revitalization. Some 20,000 residents or so are expected to move into this area in the next 10 years or so. Yeah? And when that happens, that K Street becomes a main urban spine again, a connector connecting the arena with old Sacramento. Here's the Capitol Mall, the Capitol, the Tower Bridge, the wonderful Crocker Art Museum. Here's Raleigh Field. And to make the circle complete, right here in West Sacramento, the Bridge District. A brand new neighborhood offering, let's say, close to downtown living quality. And with all that urban renewal activity going on right here on the other side of the river, the big question for the Bridge District, of course, remains, what will it look like? Yeah? So we decided early on that inspiration should be sought and reference should be found in the history of the area, which is agriculture. Imagine an entire neighborhood consisting of contemporary architecture with unique housing typologies that all take their cues from the agricultural DNA of the region, let's say. We already know Sacramento as having a farm-to-fork culture, right? We proposed to design and construct a barn, the quintessential architectural symbol of agriculture. But not just a simple barn. I mean, if you look at a simple barn, that's pretty much what a barn looked like, right? If you think of a barn, the archetype, the archetypical barn, this is what it looks like. We could take one and truck one to the site, dump it here, possible, yeah? Or order one online on getyourselfabarn.com, something like that. But we realized that that wouldn't do the job, right? Our barn was poised to be something unique, something special. This destination, this magnet program for all sorts of events, like TED events, example, right here along the Sacramento River. Yeah? So we looked at the archetypical barn and decided to break it apart, decompose it into its loose elements, and then reconstruct it, bring it back into this completely new barn made entirely from wood. Yeah? We envisioned an open structure where all the boundaries between indoor and outdoor were resolved. I mean, West Sacramento has the best weather in the world, right? So we all want to be outside. We have a lot of sun here, and the sun, of course, is our energy source, is the source for growth. And in fact, our initial form studies were all inspired by this seed sprouting and growing. But the sun is also something real that we needed to address, right? We looked at the travel path of the sun throughout the year, and with the aim to create the maximum amount of shade, we arrived at this weird, strange, curvy form, this shape that basically a large canopy designed for like optimization of maximum shade. Let's put it that way. Held up by two pots, like a bridge. Yeah? And in order to create this shape, we had to think of innovative technology. In fact, we applied what's called parametric software, parametric design software. And when properly used, this software gives you the opportunity to control everything. It controls form, it controls quantities, cost, buildability, materiality. Imagine your design is one big, elastic, overall equation of connected elements. Yeah? And when you change one variable, it basically affects all other components, while at the same time remaining one big cohesive object. Basically, you change, let's say, the length of a 2x4, and a new calculation, a new count and pattern of shingles rolls out. So that's how we arrived to this prototype barn, composed of the exact same components as a traditional barn, but now a completely different form. A form which is basically a sort of mathematical, organizational system of elements and connections. A lot of connections, but all typical and all standard. So without that parametric design software, it would have been completely impossible to create and build this barn. That's how we took the quintessential, traditional, let's say, a barn, yeah, and transformed it, changed it into what's called the barn. Yeah. We didn't just change the form, though. We didn't just change the form. We also changed the function and the meaning of a barn. Yeah? I mean, the traditional barn, let's look at that. That's basically, what is that? The storage, right? It's storage for tractors and combines and hay and your slew of farming tools, and stick a cow in there and a few chickens. Yeah? But the barn, what is that? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's this pilot project. It's the instigator. It's the igniter of more development. It's the seed that already spreads new energy through the area. But besides that, the barn, once again, is storage. Now I want you to look at each other and then look around you. Yeah? Tonight you'll all go home and you'll remember this wonderful evening and exciting TED Talks. The barn is storage for social consciousness. It's a repository for cultural memories. Thank you very much and have fun with it.